What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back in another video, and today we are doing a brand new video series called Let's Talk About That. So obviously, we've done similar videos to this before with Jordan Love back all the way in April, May. So we've done stuff like this before, but I want this to become an official small video series. Shouldn't be too long of videos. So guys are new, hit the like button, comment, subscribe. We got a whole bunch of new types of videos coming. We're going to be doing a where should quarterbacks go video sometime soon. You know, we got a whole entire free agency predictions. Obviously, we've got a lot of stuff coming, as well as, of course, a next week. I think we're going to do a 5 or 6, possibly 7 round mock draft for the end of the season. It's going to be fun, guys. So stick tuned with me. But let's talk about this trade, because obviously this is my hometown Los Angeles Rams in possibly the largest trade in NFL history. Like, this isn't like some like Ricky Williams type shit where you trade an entire draft, but it's a huge trade. So obviously, I'm pretty sure you guys might know the details. Goff is going with 2 firsts as well as a third to the Lions in order to get Matt Stafford in return. So obviously, the 2 firsts are next year and the year after that, and then the third rounder is this year. Got of course the information right here in front of me. Basically, when I first saw this, I was like, oh my God, the Rams better be saving a shit ton of money here, which, to be fair, they did. So this has been something I've had to wrestle with for a while, because it's like I keep bipolar like in a way, like a bipolar person, because like flipping between these 2 different moods of like the Rams got screwed, and you know what? The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Like it's 2 different moods going on right now. So let's break it down, because obviously, technically, the Rams traded 4 first-round picks and a third to the Lions for Matt Stafford, because obviously we all know the whole entire trade process to get Jared Goff was a very expensive trade process. They were not number 1 overall. They had to move up in order to get him. But Jared Goff, we'll talk about the Lions side of this in a little bit, but we're just talking about the trade right now. We're basically trading a guy. Matt Stafford's not that old, surprisingly. I think he's 32, 33 years old. So he does have about 3 to 5 more years of like really high level play in him. So there's something I heard today. I think that who said that? Was it Dan Orlovsky? It might have been Dan Orlovsky, which he likes to say some crazy shit. And he's a little bit of like a poet with his words. Sometimes he gets a little ahead of himself, but he said something very beautiful today. And he was like, you know, last year we like criticized some teams for basically going for the future when their team's ready to win now. That team was the Packers, trying to get, of course, their future in Jordan Love when they could win a Super Bowl right now. Obviously, probably a first round running back, or not running back, a first round guy like maybe not Patrick Queen, because obviously Patrick Queen had a horrible PFF year, but there was a plenty of guys. Maybe they could have gotten to Chase Claypool, somebody like that, to be able to boost the team's efficiency. Or we could look at linebacker, cornerback, you know the deal. Jalen Johnson there. But he's talking about windows to win now. And obviously, Aaron Donald's not going to be the best player in the league for an infinite amount of time. He'll be there for a while. And Jalen Ramsey as well. Like, these corners do age as well. Like, they're due to a lot more speed and athleticism than a lot of positions. So obviously, the older you get, the worse you get. So it is true. The Rams are in win now mode. So being able to sacrifice your first round picks in the future might be a great decision. You know, the more I thought about it, it's like, dude, that's a huge trade. Goff is not that bad. He needs a good offensive line, and that's pretty much it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I watched Goff his first year, his rookie year, and I saw how horrible his offensive line was. This dude got destroyed. It was the Cardinals game back in like December or January, and like he just got obliterated. It's because the dude needs some time to process. He's not going to be an elite quarterback. When people were putting him in the top 10, top 5 in his year where he ran the number 1 offense, I was like, guys, halt the brakes. It's Todd Gurley and Jared Goff's being able to have some good rollout schemes and have good protection. It's not like he's going to be a god unless you keep this up. They lost a bunch of linemen and then he regressed. You know, obviously, we'll talk about that a little bit more, but basically the Rams traded away a quarterback who in the right scheme is a really good quarterback for a guy who's going to be able, he's already used to having a pretty shit offensive line, and you're adding more weapons to him. So to be honest, Matt Stafford's going to an upgraded situation, especially with the defense. So I honestly have warmed up a lot to the Rams. And for the Lions, you're getting, again, a guy who is young and has a pretty hefty contract. But the Rams are absorbing 22 million of the dead cap. So that does help a bit. Matt Stafford's having a really cheap contract. That's wonderful for the Rams. Of course, they do have to absorb 22 mil this year. But still, like, you're saving 68 million, I believe, in terms of dead cap. So that's wonderful for the Rams. And then the Lions, again, you get a young quarterback, you get 2 more first round picks. Again, they might be late with how good Stafford could be. I want the Rams to be able to draft some more linemen for him, because I feel so bad for Matt Stafford with how often he gets injured. Or not injured, but he gets hit so often, he gets hurt. But I mean, this dude's a true warrior. He likes to stay in games and like play with broken fingers and all types of shit. Like, he's a true warrior, and I love Matt Stafford to the Rams. So we got to get some extra protection for him. And the Rams are good later on at drafting. So I'm not completely against it at all. Like, I think that Matt Stafford, get a couple more offensive line pieces. This team is Super Bowl bound maybe 2 years in a row. Like, it's a really good squad. Matt Stafford has been, I've been saying this forever. Get Matt Stafford, get Deshaun Watson, get these guys out of their situations. Their organizations are bringing them down. You're looking at Matt Ryan. I think his organization's bringing him down with Julio Jones as well. I don't know. Maybe that one needs to be a little bit more fleshed out, but obviously Stafford as well as Watson need to get out of their situations, which, of course, by the way, today we are, of course, talking to Jamie Roots, the president of the Houston Texans, in exactly 3 hours. If you guys don't believe I'm scared shitless, I am scared shitless. I've never done an interview with somebody of that high caliber that I've never really met before. So pray for me, y'all. This video might not be up in that time, but it probably will be, actually. Whatever. Of course, at the bottom line, the Lions, even if they have those late first round picks, they can use those on offensive tackles, offensive linemen, because we've seen them try to invest in that in the free agency market, as well as wide receivers as well. I know I said as well twice. I know. Trust. It's a struggle type of day. So, like, I think that the Lions won this trade ultimately in the long run, but in the short run, the Rams definitely won, because Jared Goff, in a couple years down the line, when all the offensive linemen have developed, the wide receivers are back in order, the defensive guys have been able to develop, Jeff Okudah is able to take a step up. Maybe they can get Micah Parsons this year and be able to have a true good defense, because, of course, you guys are losing Jarrad Davis. And I think in the long run, the Lions will be able to say, hey, we won this trade. But the Rams in the short run are going to be like, dude, we're going to possibly win 1 or 2 Super Bowls. And that's wonderful. So if we're going to be honest, I'm going to reach a verdict here. Both teams won, just in their own ways. I think the Lions window is down the line, and the Rams window is now. And they're both going to succeed. And they both did a very good job doing that. The Rams, due to their drafting philosophy, I think they're going to be perfectly fine. I think that obviously they've been hurting with not a first round pick for it's 6 years now. It will be 8 years coming up. But to be honest, they went to the Super Bowl and they are challenging Aaron Rodgers. So to be honest, they've been able to do it without that. And I'm pretty confident with all the talent that they've gotten, they're going to be able to be competitive, as well as their linebackers continue to develop, all that stuff. So I think the Rams have pushed themselves closer to a favorite, because I originally was like, dude, Matt Stafford doesn't even have a line again. Like, this isn't going to work. But if the Rams are operating with Jared Goff at this level, and again, Jared Goff needs good protection, Matt Stafford can put him over the edge. So I love this for both teams. I hated this trade in the beginning. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Now I'm really, really enjoying looking at this trade. So let me know what you guys think. Honestly, this might have been the best trade for both teams, because I think the Rams should be 31 or 32 for their pick each year. But the Lions, that means you get 2 picks, and that's pretty much an extra, like, early second. And that's perfect. That's really perfect, especially for a team that needs to rebuild. They have all the draft capital now. And hey, if the Rams suck and the Rams realize, oh, well, Matt Stafford wasn't a great fit, they still got out of a bad contract, saved a lot of money, might be able to re-sign some dudes. So this is by far not something that destroys either franchise, as I originally thought. That's why I wanted to wait a day or two just to feel out how this trade was. I believe it was a day ago. I'm not sure. But with the feeling out how this trade went, both teams did a really good job. And Matt Stafford wants to be here, and Jared Goff wanted out. And they're both in great situations with teams that want them. So only time will tell whether this trade will actually be worth it, but it is a verdict, and we have talked about it. This trade is a good one. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.